and Claude is right here, and he's walking away from me. He must be going somewhere. All right, let's go this direction. Hello, Claude. How are you doing, buddy? Okay, there he is, and he's going off into the woods. Not the woods, but he's going off into a different area. All right, so that was Claude. He must be going somewhere. And Noise. Hey, Carlos. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Falcon. Glad to see both of you. And Claude a moment ago, and he was in the. He's going off to go find some friends or something. Yeah, Claude. Yeah, he was. He's right. He was right over here. He's still over there. He must be. He must be lurking. He must be going, and he's patrolling the garden at night. That's what he likes to do. And yeah, he definitely. Yeah, he is funny. He is funny. Definitely funny. I I think definitely Mr. Bean is humorous. Yeah, definitely for a split second he was in a mission for sure. Oh, there he is again. That's Claude right there, and he is going on his nighttime patrol. Yeah, Claude is very mysterious. We don't always know where he is going or what he's doing, but he definitely keeps the garden in check, and that's good. Yeah, and good morning, Brig. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad that you can join us. Just a second ago, we saw Claude, and we hear him again. Claude is doing his nighttime patrol, and we can see him. Yeah. Shout out to the Space Yetis and the Swamp Puppies and Claude. Yep. And yeah, so Claude is lurking somewhere around here. He is, like I said, he likes to patrol the yard and protect it, and he's hiding in the jungle where I can't even see him. So that is something that I think about is cool. There are some situations that occur where he can just, yeah, Space Yetis. Noah says he's an alien. Yes. And yeah, we all are aliens. Most of us are aliens here. Some of us are not. Where are the tomatoes? It's a little bit cold right now for tomatoes. A little bit cold for tomatoes right now. They'll come later. That's a good question, though. Very good question. Just not completely in season right now. You mean this? Hey, Jay. Welcome back, buddy. Uh, Carlos said, I missed last night garden stream, passed out like a rock. I slept and straightway woke up hella sore. Oh, okay. Hello, Virginia. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you with us. Right. And yeah, I have played Fallout before. but I haven't done it in a while. Yeah, and maybe we'll see some possums because they are lurking around. We see possums in different areas, like over here, somewhere lurking. But Fallout is a very good game. I like it, and something I'd recommend for people that are interested. It was pretty cool. No, Jay, I don't personally hunt any of them. I just observe them and just like study nature and things like that. So I don't hunt anything here. I just watch them, and I they're in the city also. I probably wouldn't hunt a possum at all, but these are like more not as like they're not like country possums. They're more urban. Yeah. Yeah, possums are definitely good for nature. I agree. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, now there's back in the past, people used to do coon hunting back in the old people do it now, but in the olden days. Now I am good with getting close to the animals and stuff. I don't here we don't hunt on the streams or anything, but I am rather than hunting, I take like videos of them. It's the same type of skill set, but for something else. Yeah, and yeah, possums are very good for the environment, and they don't really get rabies like the other animals do. Oh yeah, they are cute. Definitely. Some people don't like raccoons because they can get into the attics of houses, and they can get kind of aggressive towards each other. Kind of like they're kind of like koala bears. Sometimes like, they get pretty aggressive. Okay, what's this? I hear something. But I don't see anything though. American alien on screen. Yes, yes, very true. We still have raccoon squirrel hunters around here, but I don't hunt. Oh, okay. Okay, what's he saying? My mate hunts possums for the fur because says their fur can sell for good money. Yeah. Oh, there's Claude. He's running. Okay, back in the past, people did hunt for pelts and stuff like that, but we don't really do that like now. There is Claude. Yeah, we wouldn't. Yeah, here like the people don't want to. They're not interested in hunting the possums here, and I understand people do that, but yeah, there's people here that are not interested in doing that. And shout out to Virginia Possum, cool people. Yeah, and also, yeah, I would think, in my opinion, it would be better to not hunt the possums and for their fur and stuff like that. I understand people do it, but I definitely would hopefully people could find other alternatives of doing that. I understand like back in the past people did it, but it's something that okay. Good night to you, Virginia, and thank you for coming very much. All right, and do unto others as you would have them do to you. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Virginia, my friend. Right, and some rain's happening. And also, Jay says it's fair really on the hunt for hares because meat tastes good and casseroles, but that's basically it. Sometimes I go for peasants because they're feather used in my dad's girlfriend's art. Yeah, and especially back in the past, in the United States and different places, they hunted a lot. But sometimes when they did it, it would cause populations to go down too much. And I mean, I still eat meat personally, where, but the hunting thing, where it may not be completely necessary over in this time period. But I understand, and you know, thank you for telling me your thoughts about that. That you eat it and stuff like that. Yeah, and uh, there is situations, like on this stream specifically, there nothing's being hunted. We're just watching the different things in nature, and unexpectedly, it's raining where I didn't think it'd rain. But let's try to go under a tree, I guess. That'll be better, although it's not going to last too long because of the rain. But anyway, so yeah, thank you for telling me your thoughts about that. And yeah, I definitely think with the, like for instance, they had buffalo in the United States, and they did lots of hunting of the buffalo. But then again, their population went down very, very much. Right. Not saying you're doing anything like that, but when they do it too much, it causes more harm sometimes than good. Maybe other times a population get out of hand. That also could cause an issue as well. And right, yeah, prepare your mind. The aliens are coming. Yeah, come in three colors: through you see and autumn leaves. All right. Jay said, yeah, people just hunt to kill an animal and leave it there are the ones that shouldn't be hunting, or people that overhunt. I don't agree with either of those. Okay, that's good. That's good. And it's something that people like they'll have like a mean streak in them and they'll want to do that. Now, I do know people that do hunt in different parts of the country, the United States and Canada. A lot of people do it. But yeah, that's good that you understand that it's wrong to go that far with it, like some people do. And you're eating it, you're not like wasting anything. And it used to be the raccoon. They're Native Americans here. They used to collect the pelts, like what you're talking about, and they used it for hats and stuff. Some people, some civilizations, that's all they had to eat or to use for fur in the past, a long time ago. Gary, I'm on planet Earth, bro. Now, on stormy nights like this, there are usually stormy nights like this. There are usually some tales of garden cast. Yes, some places like this, you have a situation where people will, you know, crop circles will form. Hello, Phil. Good to see you. Yeah. So, and what do I mean by that? A lot of times, there's in the past. Let's see, in the past, there was storms and stuff that occurred, and when this would happen, people would see crop circles. What I'm looking for is I'm observing my garden at night, and sometimes we see some wild animals right here. Oh, hello, Mark. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so we're looking for different animals. Sometimes I like to observe the different animals, and I like to look at different things in nature and stuff. So, and we talk about aliens and cryptids and stuff here. That's what we're doing. And what we have here, it looks like this plant is getting, it doesn't have all the morning dew on it like the other one did that time. All right. As I said, I'm glad to see everybody here. And what is a jandal? Mark, can you explain it to me? I don't know what that is. All right. And let's see. The cryptids generally don't get enough focus. They are so fun. Yes. Oh, okay, Mark. Okay, Jay, that is accurate. We call it in America. Thank you. All right. And let's see. Cryptology don't come too far. Yes. And yeah, what we and he believes a throwing weapon of some kind. Okay. I'm a fan of the Jersey Devil and the Chupacabra. Right. Oh, okay, Mark. Okay. Yeah. And comedy says, I'm a fan of the Jersey Devil and the Chupacabra. All right. Well, in those situations that you speak of with the Chupacabra, I think that got shot felt guilty though. Oh, he felt guilty. Yeah. Yeah. So with the Chupacabra, that one is very odd because it seems like it's a dog thing or a wolf, but it seems kind of like lizard like because it has like scales on it. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Gary. It definitely has scales on it, and it has like these spiky things coming from the back. And when that happens, when you have stuff like that occur, you will totally see they drink the blood of goats too. Yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah. And sometimes they drink the blood of goats, And that's another thing that's very odd about them. I am back. I did something for a second, but I'm back. Okay. So here I am. I've returned. Yeah, so maybe the got managed whatever it's called. Or me. Yeah. Cedar Park, Texas. All right. And there is the situations that happened. Okay, no, it's not you. I'm back. So any situations, the chupacabra, it's known. So for whatever and other farm animals. So whatever it is, it's trying to like kind of like a vampire. That's why to me it reminds me of some kind of reptilian thing. Although it's supposed to be like a dog of some kind, and it's kind of an odd spiky creature, which I think the creature is rather strange. You think they would have had humans of gorilla strength by now? Yeah. Now there are some alleged cryptids of something like that existing, but it's absolutely crucial to have that there. Like for instance, you there's the Bigfoot thing that's allegedly something like that, and there's some other cryptids that might be some kind of being like that with gorilla strength. It could be, but yeah, the chupacabra is. There's been some alleged sightings that occurred, and it seems like it's from all over. Probably the southern United States. I once found a mutilated raccoon with its wrapped around body in Chicago. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it could be a cryptid that did it. That's possible. Yes, I got gorilla strength. Yeah. Okay, and gorillas were only fairly recently discovered in Western society. That's right, Brig. Yeah. Now the thing with the gorilla itself was actually thought to be a cryptid of some kind. And with the cryptid of some kind, that is really cool because it's able to prove that cryptids existed. Yeah. So that's what I think. That the gorillas were considered not real at one time, but they do exist, and also platypuses were seen to not exist either. Hope one day aliens actually do reveal themselves in my lifetime, so people can be vindicated. Oh, thank you, Cal. I appreciate it. Yeah, John. Definitely, there are people that have had traumatic experiences with aliens. I do agree. That's why there's theories that the aliens could be demonic or part of the fallen watchers. Because people definitely have had traumatic experiences with them, but there's also people that have had good experiences with them too. So it seems that there are good ones and bad ones. The reptilians and greys seem to have some issues, but the other ones, like the Ebians, seem better. The forest men existed. All right, Briggs said, imagine not knowing anything about gorillas or they even exist, and then all of a sudden you walk up to a group of them in the middle in a mountain. Yeah, that'd be wild. Yeah, that'd be wild. What if this is all simulation and none of this is real? Cal, we wouldn't exactly know if it was if we're stuck in the Matrix. And eventually we would hopefully be able to crack the Matrix and see what the truth is. Or we'll go back to wherever we came from when we pass away. And Jay says, I could see why they thought a gorilla was some sort of cryptid, scary looking human type animal with super strength. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Some of the first Westerners thought they were like almost people in a way, no longer think of them. Yeah. Hola, Brazil. Well, we're going to be disappointed. Aliens ain't from planet Blimp Blob. Definitely spiritual. Same reason why all of the world rituals were done. Then great buildings happens. Technology advances. Yeah, Madge, exactly. Because the aliens, they were thought to be the gods and goddesses and those things that came down from the heavens. And it's like Epstein and those types of P files and stuff under that island. I think we're certainly into that type of spiritualism, and we're summoning those that type of entities and are connected with them. So that is a theory I don't disagree with right there. Oh, hello, jellyfish. Okay, I will do that, jellyfish. Welcome back. Nice to have you here again. All right, and I mean, picture a bear. Some of the first people to arrive to America probably didn't know much about bears. They start exploring, and a suddenly massive beast would just come out. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And eventually will evolve to look like aliens, but I mean like a million years or more. Allegedly, it's 56,000 years from now. There's people on other planets that, I mean, there's humans that went into outer space, and there are time travelers, and they came back here and they look like the Greys. I'd rather it all just be a blank, like hell is real and I'm sent there. That's on me. The warning signs were there. Understood, Cal. And I pray that you can, before that time comes, because I'm not perfect. No one is. That you can go to a very nice place. Because it definitely is real. But there's also a good place to go to. But thank you for your thoughts on that. Oh, it definitely was Brig. Absolutely. I only just realized that when Europeans first started coming to America, the natives are basically just like rural people in Europe. Yeah. Jacob says, well, each race could be from different planet. Theory, therefore, if you see an alien, it would be human in the first place. You would never even know. Yeah. There's theories about that too. And Maj, so let's say 420 says, I think the P files was just an information dump, and Jepstein, we know, was a horrible guy, but he was a fall guy, not the head honcho. Oh, there's definitely other people involved in it, and he definitely was. There's a giant human trafficking ring, in my opinion, that they're covering up, and he was the fall guy. I do think there's truth to that, where he's like the figurehead, when there's other masterminds also behind it. Yeah. Amen, Jacob. John says, I need so I can see the spaceship. You probably want some mushroom. You want some Timu mushrooms to see the spaceship that's right there. I don't blame you. It's a nice thing to see. I always thought it was more different, but like country people in Europe, the temporary huts and stuff barely wore clothes. Oh yeah, comedy. That's an interesting perspective, bro. Because you got a situation where people are thinking about, like, they thought they're like country people or just rule, or what you're calling rural people. They didn't think of it the same way like we would think of them. Interesting. Oh, hello, Moose. All right, it's possible that Earth was a Pangea, the whole world was the Holy Land, and there are pyramids and other lifts, and some all over, and then the Great Flood made a continents divide. That's possible. That's possible. Hello, Goon 509. Hello there. Comedy says you don't need John, but if you do, responsible and safe. And Mark says, what happened to the top of the pyramid? Your landing spot. Right. Computer's song Trevor. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Carlos. Hello, Joe's bro. Yeah, shout out to the angels, Carlos. Yeah, the aliens angels. Shout out to them. Yeah, hello, Sawgirl. And Jose. Good to see everybody. Yeah. And they thought the platypus was a cryptid that didn't exist, but the platypus is real. Definitely, they thought that it was a hybrid. Absolutely. And the thing with that is, with the hybrid creature, it was actually real and not fiction. But sometimes they thought those things were fake. They're actually real. All right, and Comedy said, even the first dead one brought in, I still wouldn't have believed it. Right, right. Imagine some claiming the platypus was real before it was known. Yeah, because a lot of people didn't know of those things, and they thought it was fake. Right, absolutely, but it was real. Let's see. Yeah, beavers. Now, let's see. Stitched. Oh yeah, another thing is that there were taxidermied animals that were created for cons and stuff. They're trying to like make people think there was something there that wasn't. And let's see, if there was a top gold knew how to happen, rocket scientist, right? It's very windy. I should have called this a stormy garden stream because it's all windy now. Phil says, "What's your thoughts on an octopus? It has 9 brains and can change its texture." No, Jay, I've not heard of that. All right, so let's see. What's he say? Phil, I think the octopus is extremely an incredible invention, and I call it an invention because I believe it was created. Even if it evolved, if that's true, either way, it was created by something. So I think the platypus. I mean, not the plat. I mean, the octopus was a very in itself like a cryptid. Oh, thank you, Carlos. Nice dono. Thank you. And that is what I think with the the octopus. It's a very like intricate cryptid type creature, and it's so advanced. I would say many people wouldn't even believe it was real because it was so, bizarre. It doesn't sound like anything natural. That's why I think things that people think are not true. And did you see Armides fakery? Oh, thank you, Carlos, for the other dono. Thank you. And yeah, that's what I think. Just it's a very fascinating creature, and it's extremely intelligent with all its brains. Definitely, people would not believe that was real. Okay, let's see what he says. Jay says it was dog specifically bred for roasting food, running and a wheel for hours. Dog. Oh, yeah, I've never heard of that. And you know, over here, the dogs are very nice pets for we in this place. And yeah, that's something I'd not have heard of before. And Phil says it's one of the earliest forms of life on this planet. All right, and let's see. A venom. Oh, the other guy said. Cal said one of the earliest forms of life is the plant. It had the most time to evolve in the harshest conditions on Earth. A venomous duck-billed egg-laying muskrat. Okay. The octopus brains aren't complex. They're just help control its mastery over its own cell muscles. Thank you, Cast. Appreciate it. Yeah. Shout out to the animals and the dogs and cats and stuff. Earlier, my other stream with the verdict watch, we were talking about lots of animals and pets, and it was a nice conversation. And what occurred after that was during the part where the actual verdict came in, the connection decided to have a stroke. But chat was kept high spirits, and I'm glad that they were there. I'm thankful for all of them. And it seemed like the backup engine, although it was extremely laggy and kind of skippy, to my surprise, it actually put something through. To my surprise, so yeah, definitely animals are a topic that I like, and interesting to see how different cultures operate. My brother, where are you even going right now? Okay, so I looks like I'm all over the place, but I like pacing around, but I'm also just showing different. Oh, thank you, Carlos, for the new super chat, a sticker. Thanks, I appreciate it very much. And yeah, I'm just like showing y'all different scenery in this garden that I have as we walk around. And I do have a thing for pacing around. That's something that I have a thing about me. But it's also it kind of seems to help the connection not go out of whack. But if someone wants me to stay still, I can stay still if people want me to. It can possibly lag, but it is something cool. Thank you, KC. Appreciate it. I've not seen them tonight. Oh yes, Soul Girl says, "Watch My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. Amazing, amazing." Oh yes, yes, very good show. Yeah, Mark, I've not heard that myself, but that's very interesting. Makes sense to me. Yeah, there was a shipwreck that was off the coast of There is a shipwreck that was off the coast of Europe. Oh, thank you for the Carlos did 5 super chat donations to the 5 donations for the people to become members, 5 memberships. Thank you for the membership donations. Appreciate it. Awesome. Nice. Yes, nice. Appreciate it. Okay, and the storm is picking up. Yeah. So that is, what I think the many animals that we would consider alien spaceship last day on Earth. What would you eat and why? Oh, hello, tinfoil hat wearer. You're in the right place. I like your name and your photo. Wow, that is a good question. I would have to say the last thing that I would eat is something from my garden. Something from my garden. Or something, yeah, either food that I grew or something made by family or friends. I had no crickets tonight. It's a little bit cooler and it's very windy. Oh, KC, I'm looking for some swamp puppies and some other critters that like to run around. Yes, tinfoil, absolutely. At least you have a garden full of food to eat. Yes, yes. Do you think Wemby is an alien? I am ignorant about who Wemby is. I'm ignorant about that. Right. And so, yeah, sometimes the crickets do not come out. And when the crickets don't come out, it's due to certain types of weather and conditions that happen. Extremely good solving problems will say that where we set for intelligence, we say intelligence ability to adapt, octopus have needed to adapt much. Interesting. You were late to the party, KC. You were late to the party. The banded puppy, what the banded puppy, this is like opium. It's not opium, but we call it spiky opium or something like that. Anyway, uh, the the swamp puppy is a yeah. Okay, it is furry and it's a bandit and it likes to be in the trash sometimes and he has a mask. Oh, it's not a poppy, but it's not really a poppy, but we call it a poppy. Some people in the chat have nicknamed it a poppy. All right, so it's not. This is like a dandelion spiky plant hybrid, not a poppy plant, but kind of similar to it. Oh no, no, this is not an opium plant. Just for the record, not an opium plant, but it just resembles it. According to chat, It kind of looks like it, and those are the dandelion type flowers. Right. An opium flower would have a big bulb right there or a big flower. It would be not as spiky, just for the record. Yeah, the Jersey Devil was one that I thought was quite fascinating. Yeah, kind of, yeah, smaller. It's kind of similar, but smaller. All right, Mark said my nephew and Ollie sent a video of him chopping a snake in half and putting it on a recycle bin. Wow. Oh yeah, and definitely tough people, and that is pretty epic about that. I think with those types of snakes, y'all over there in Aussie land are very good with those snakes. Yeah, everybody's getting it seems to get dizzy when I walk around. I know. All right, so let's just try to go to a spot and just stay still. All right, I'll probably start buffering too. But anyway, all right. So Spring healed Jack. My bad. Yeah, yeah. I have never. I've had alligator. We call it alligator. We've had alligator before, but I don't think I've had. I may have had an alligator before a long time ago, but I've not eaten a crocodile. I don't think. Which I maybe they're the same. I don't know if they're different or not. I don't remember. But yeah, we either call it something different or they're two different types of uh, similar things. Yeah. Now, jumping Jack is not a cryptid, but a weird a folk story legend. Oh, okay. The comedy, interesting. All right, let's see what that's about. Let's see. Yeah, and I think cryptids are real, even if we do not exactly see them. Bringing into English folklore, Victorian era claimed the sighting of Heald was later sightings were reported all over United Kingdom. Oh, Sawgirl says, I ate alligator in the wedding reception in New Orleans. It was good. Couldn't tell between that and chicken. Yeah, it's definitely tastes like chicken. And that's very cool. You had that, and it sounds very fun. And Mark says reptile meat, no thanks. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had it before, and Sawgirl, that sounds like it was very delicious. And the moon is being hidden by the clouds, by the way. Yeah. Comedy says, I've eaten frog once. It was good. Next time it was repulsive. Oh, okay. Maybe they cooked it a certain way. one of the times that made it taste different. And Sawgirl says, "I don't think that I go out my way to cook alligator." Right, right. A lot of people that eat those things, it was the only thing they really had to eat. Briggs said they have gator tail offered at places in South Florida. Oh, oh yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Yeah, yeah, they are neat. I agree. All right, we go. Alligator's delicious. Oh, okay. Hi there. Hi there. Well, welcome to the stream. All right, and let's see. Er, Richard, yeah, all natural, definitely. Greg says they serve it like a small portions that are fried, kind of like chicken nuggets. Right, right. Oh, okay. We go. That is cool. That is cool. So, do you? Yeah, I definitely like the outdoors and the swampy type stuff. It's nice weather. And turn into something. Wait a minute, alligator all the time. Yeah, Saw Girl. I agree. I agree. So let's see. The Southwest. Yeah, we think that it tastes like fish. I mean, it tastes like chicken. The alligator. Yes, Mothman is technically a cryptid. That is true. Mark said, "If I was starving, I would eat grass sprinkled with dirt for flavor." Hilarious. All right. Yeah, Mothman is a cryptid. I love Florida. It's not too far from the United States. It isn't too far from the United States. That is true. And or a fish swimming in a deep water is pretty trippy too. They definitely turning into something. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, see the Mothman is this giant flying thing that's black with red eyes. Kind of looks like a demon thing. And that's what I think is, you know, one of the most famous cryptids of all time. Some people eat the lizards too. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I've uh, I've never had that. But yeah, so with the cryptids, the Jersey Devil is a famous one. That one is very long time ago, and it looks kind of like a hybrid thing. There's there is a reason that yeah, there is a reason that, for instance, they thought some of these creatures were hybrids, and when that happened, when you have creatures that are hybrids, they either were created in a laboratory or it was something that they thought was there. Right, and Carlos said anywhere but yeah. Anthony Bourdain ate a baby camel. Yeah, in the Middle East, they eat camel, which I was kind of surprised about, but yeah, they eat them over there in the Middle East. Saw a huge moth one time, and what was crazy? Okay, maybe it was one of the Mothmen that you were referring to, and it could have been that. So yeah, it looks like an angel thing or like a giant moth is what it's also described as, obviously. Mark says when Mothman shows up, something's going to happen. Apparently, yeah, the Mothman is an omen, and a lot of time with Mothman, people believe that it's an omen of something bad about to happen. I think with that situation, it is extremely, we have to be extremely cautious because it could really mean something. Other times it may not mean something. But yeah, 9/11. There's a bridge that collapsed. It's always like appearing before something happens. And it's more wrong to, in Cal opinion. Well, yeah, in America, they were horses were the best friend. Understood comedy. They were seen as best friends, like in the old West. It was a symbol of, like, it was a friend in a form of transportation. Yeah, it's just that different cultures think that it's right and wrong to eat different things. Yeah, and the Saw Girl says, "Jeepers Creepers." He kind of reminds you of Mothman. Oh yeah, yeah. So definitely the Mothman in a way is like an omen of something about to happen, and it appears all over the place when you know various things happen. People think there's either multiple Mothmen. Oh, that's awesome, Saw Girl. Awesome. Yeah, there is either Mothman is a either there's multiple Mothmen or it's interdimensional and it's one of them or two of them and they appear in different signs and places. It's almost kind of reminds you of the Grim Reaper. That's what it's like. All right, Jay says, well, domestic cows were domesticated for eating. In India, they see cows as beautiful creatures, and if one's on the road, they wait for it to move. Yeah, India, they are very sacred. And I think cow print looks pretty cool. That's a little bit of a dark undertone because sometimes cow print comes from a cow that was slaughtered. But what I meant to say was the the cows are definitely beautiful animals. That's true. Now the Israelites, which the West is more into, the Abrahamic religions than they are. Although some people in India are Islamic, which is an Abrahamic religion, but it's different than the other religions, the Abrahamic religions, though. But yeah, the Hindus and like the cultural Indians, they like to um, acknowledge a cow as holy. Interestingly, the Israelites were worshiping Baal or this cow god, and they thought it was a deity sometimes, but it was known as something demonic or like the devil. So the Abrahamic religions were setting the undertone that the cows were something that to be frowned upon. Like for instance, in the temple, the Jews can only blast the shofar from the ram or from the EU, which is there's an African antelope thing, and it was it's like a trumpet or the ram. Now the ram comes from cows that are, comes from rams that are sacrificed by the Muslims, and they give it to the Jews to use as horns. So like blow thing, the blow the horn. Now they could not use the cow horn because it was now the Vikings like cow horns. Now a Israelite soldier could use the cow horn in a battle or something, but usually they would use the horn, the cow horn, not to blow it because it resembled Baal to them. But the ram was like the ram in the bush. So yeah, different cultures have like different things about animals. Oh, comedy! You are definitely a comedian. Uh, people have been lynched in India for having beef on them. Yeah, definitely, they have a lot of beef on them, indeed, with all those cows. And Jay says it goes against their religion eating cow meat. You're fallen angels or something like that. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you. And it's interesting though, like the Israelites saw the cow as now Israelites worship the Baal thing because they were falling away from God. They're in rebellion, but it's supposed to be seen as a frowned upon creature. They didn't frown upon cows. I mean, you could eat a cow. In my opinion, I think it's kosher to eat it if I remember that correctly. But like pigs are not kosher, because it's like a bottom feeder, and there's no way to preserve the pig, and it was like a bottom feeder, a scavenger. So it was seen as something not kosher. I think cows were eaten. I don't quite remember, but the definitely spiritually the cow was seen as a something similar to Baal. Interestingly, and Jay said it goes against their religion, eating cow meat or fallen angel or something like that. Okay, thank you for your explanation. And Mark said, "Have you seen African tribes drink blood from cow's neck? Cow still lives." I've not heard of that, but I'm not surprised. I'm sure they did. I'm sure it had to do with a spiritual ritual too, because this Baal thing exists all over the world, probably. I have a chauffeur that horn you're talking about. Oh, oh, excellent, excellent. Uh, very special. The Maasai tribe does that. Oh, interesting, interesting. And Jay says I've seen certain tribes do that in Africa. I think it's gross, but it's what they believe in medicine or something like that, and they seem to be good. So I don't really have a problem with it. Okay, gotcha. I said like there's some cultures in the world that eat bugs, like on a shish kebab or something. I remember when I went to the insectarium during a field trip, and these people had pictures on the wall of these kids eating black widow spiders and stuff, and these people had some snacks that were insects. I'm like, bruh, I'm good. I will pass on that. It's like here's some bugs, candy bugs. I'm like, I'm good, cuz I'm good. I know, Alex. It's a leaf, isn't that something? It's a marvelous spectacle that you probably didn't expect to see. You probably don't really see too often. I know. Yeah. Our comedy says I went to Maasai village when I was a boy, and they would shoot the cow with an arrow in the neck lightly, mix it with blood with milk, and they live in the cow dung hunts. Flies all over it in their eyes, cows, kids. Well, that's really something, man. I mean, really, that had to be a scene to see. Oh, hello, Churbro, welcome. That's the same people I took a poop on today. Oh, okay. Bugs are fine, good protein, but I wouldn't eat a bug. They're ugly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I saw a girl. I know exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, that's really something. She's saying some people eat the scorpion in the bottom of the barrel in mezcal, the Mexican tequila. Yeah, I'm sure that was something interesting, quite intriguing. Uh, And I don't know, maybe bizarre to maybe to some that may have seen that, but depending on people thought it was normal or not to do in their culture, I don't know, but yeah, that I'm aware of that tequila that you speak of, and I'm sure they enjoyed it. I guess, and she knows a kid named Seven. Carlos says supposedly world would be pushed to eat bugs from bug silos because a lot more protein than cows or something like that, and less space needed on farms. Yes, I believe there is an agenda to push people towards eating bugs. I agree. Didn't they use to have a grubs and bottom of tequila bottle? I think so. I think they did, but I'm not an expert in it, so I don't know for certain. Connie says you are better off just becoming vegetarian at that point, Carlos. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where do bon appetit? Yeah. Bon appetit. She meant to say. Let's see. Just had dinner. Gonna have a few bongs. Oh, nice. Yeah, bong appetit. Yes, I didn't read the whole thing. Yeah, I thought I thought that's what she meant. That sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers. Indeed. Yeah. Facts. Yeah. Get your bongs, your vapes, your smokes, drinks, food, whatever, and enjoy the garden live. Yeah. Oh, this is something interesting. Yeah, this right here is interesting. Yeah, and it's. I mean, with when I saw about the tequila with the scorpion in it, I thought that was like, whoa. I was like, does it go in there? Yeah, it's not ivy. I don't know for certain, but I don't think it's ivy. It's like some sort of a. Some sort of a Timu vine. That's basically what it is. And for instance, people think it's weird with goat's milk, but when I was growing up, I had uh, my family didn't have like a farm of goats at that point, but my family in the past had goats, so I've had goat's milk before, and I think it tastes pretty good. But a lot of people think goat's milk is weird. Apparently, goat's milk is better for you too. Yeah, I don't know. It just the goat's milk tasted like more like milk and more natural than milk itself and more lighter. People never understand what I mean by that, but it tastes more like milk than milk itself. It's lighter. You can taste the difference. I mean, regular milk like tastes like milk, but it eventually kind of tastes like, you get used to it. The other milk, I would say, the goat's milk is stronger and has more of a milky taste to it, and it's more loose. It's nice. Brig looked into it. Apparently, they would put grubs, moth larvae into mescal. Okay, okay. You can still get a bottle with the worm. Oh, okay. The worm is the grub. Yeah. Oh, you've eaten the mescal worm. Oh, nice. I guess people like it. I mean, I don't know like what to say about that. All I could say is I guess people like it. It tastes good to some people. I mean, it's a I get it is what it is. And yeah, how right. So yeah, so that is the thing. These as I said, these people I guess enjoy it, and it's an alcoholic. It's a drunken bug, I'd say. There you go. Oh, Sawgirl says, "Oh, I thought that was a scorpion. It was a worm." I'm like, need more coffee here. Right, right. Yeah, and there are all kinds of. Yeah. Let's see. We're gonna figure out what's going on here. Right. Yep. Let's see. A scorpion mescal is a premium Oaxacan spirit produced by small batches featuring real edible scorpions inside every bottle. These bottles range from silver aged 7-year old to smoky, earthy, or citrus notes. The scorpion, a real scorpion, is introduced in the bottle, often considered a delicacy to eat, drink, and finish. So she is correct. There is a scorpion that's eaten. Right, right. Fresno Nightcrawler, interesting. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Churbro. I'm glad that you like it. All right, the Fresno Nightcrawler is a viral cryptid appearing in 2007 surveillance footage as a 4 to 5 foot tall, pale white humanoid figure with long legs, no arms, and distinct gliding gait. Some internet theorists suggest they are extraterrestrial probes. A popular, though largely debunked, theory links them to Native American folklore, sometimes the Stickiniki. Interesting. Oh, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Yeah, it's basically an encyclopedia of information. Yeah. Right, there's the moon. It's kind of trying to hide behind different, clouds, but it's still there, lurking around. And I also like the chat. Y'all are amazing too. Thank you. It's lots of information. There is now the moon is trying to be covered. Okay, you see that's like some like spooky stuff right there. Definitely. Yeah, the astronauts are still up there. That's true. Yep. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the stream. Okay, am I back? Am I back here now? Let's see. All right, thank you. Thank you. They have copyrights in the moon, and you can go live stream without paying. Okay, that's hilarious, Brig. And hello, Michelle. Welcome to the stream, by the way. And let's see. Yeah, so Carlos, what happened to me one time was I have had incidences where there was a time like something flies off the table and for no reason, or a shelf, like I could be in there's a room, right, and there's like something flies off of a shelf for no reason. So to me, that was a ghost encounter that I have had. And there is a time where like something will, something flies off the table, something falls that wasn't supposed to fall. Those are experiences that I've had. One time I was actually right here in this area, and something tapped my shoulder, and I looked behind me, there wasn't anything there. There was another incident that happened. I was in the cat room and I heard, yes, yes, definitely, Michelle. Thank you. And one time I was in this is a spooky one. I was in the cat room one time. It was around this time. We're right now it's 3 a.m., 3:42 a.m. It was like 3:20 or so. And I was sitting with the cats and the top, I was watching some Judge Judy replays. It was, I was kind of like with them in winter time because they have a heater on and I go turn it off. And I was sitting there and I heard a knocking coming from the top of the air conditioning unit where there's nothing supposed to be there. It's like the ceiling, pretty much. Oh, hello, smart life ideas, nice. So I got a little bit like, whoa. I'm looking and there's like even a person wouldn't get in there. That's kind of weird. And all the cats are looking at it. And I just kind of stayed for a little while and eventually went back home because I was going to go back home at some point. And I went back home at some point. But yeah, it was a little bit, that was spooky. I don't know if it was a possum. Yeah, Carlos being there and it happening, it was definitely a goosebumps situation. But it was maybe it was a raccoon or a possum, but it was like, it was something like that. It was like a person, almost like a prank. But there's not supposed to be. I'm like supposed to be the only person in this giant warehouse, right? It's it's called a garage, but it's called a garage, but it's technically like a warehouse. It's has cobwebs in it. It was built in the 50s, and it looks like an old, like ancient castle, and kind of like Frankenstein's laboratory. That's what it looks like with like cobwebs. That's a way to describe it because it's not like a brick and stone. It's more like a Frankenstein's laboratory. My great grandfather built it. So I don't know if it was a possum, but there are rats up there that live in the attic. And I asked my family what's up there, and they did say there's a crawl space up there, but either it was a rat. Yes, Pawpaw was playing the great grandfather. Pawpaw was playing tricks on the other side. Yeah, and Brig, he's the one I told you about. That was the mechanic that was into cars and stuff. And that is something, you know, definitely chilling. Yes, in the garage, that garage I'm talking about, yes, that's where he kept them. It was the same place he kept them. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And also that is, you know, you see this thing right here. He moved this house that you see right here. It used to be in the back, and then he moved it up here to the front. He used mules and spinning around like a circle, and they were able to move this house to right where you see it right here. And these elephant ear plants are put here later. Yeah, and those are some plants that they put here that over generations continue to grow. Yeah. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So yeah, those are the ghost encounters I've allegedly had, whatever they were. And let's see, sometimes there was this. One time I may have heard some disembodied voice one time somewhere, but that was another thing that happened. But yeah, the knocking I've heard before, but there's nothing really there. Now my relatives had ghost stories too. The the relatives, let's see, my grandparents, let's see, the great grandmother, she one time they were doing some sort of a ceremony of some kind or whatever. I don't know if they're do- doing something like that or they were just one time a hand that appeared on the table and disappeared. Oh, okay, Carlos, thank you. Thank you. Let's go back where I came from. Oh, Carlos, a hand appeared on the table. That's what happened. Hello, Chris. Hello, Crystal. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. Oh, there was this another thing that happened. This was not really paranormal, but it could have. Oh, I got another ghost story. So, one of my neighbors. Oh, it's your mom's name. Yeah, that's a very nice name. A very lovely name. Yeah, there was this one incident that happened where my neighbor. Okay, she. No, my friend's mom, neighbor, growing up, she told me that one time there was the attic opened up and there was a man walking down the stairs with a top hat and he had no head. It's kind of like a fancy outfit. And I remember when she was telling me and my other friend this, and the dude was like calm, but his eyes were like, "What the f is this?" So yeah, she had some encounters. there's another incident in the house. Top Hat was just floating, right? And this other incident that she was um she was in the house that she was in where my friend grew up, and she saw this dark figure move past the door, and she thought it was an intruder, so she was, ready to do what she had to do. And what happened instead was she okay, Cherbro, see you next time, buddy. Peace. Okay, so anyway, she and it was a spirit. It was just something there. It wasn't a person. Okay, Brig. Understood. Good day, good night to you too. Yeah. And also, Carlos, there was another tapping incident where the dude was. Oh, Carlos said, I've had a dark figure incident home alone, but I just didn't care. And no one was here. Yeah, the top hat guy, super scary. Yeah. Okay, Saw Girl, good night to you. See you next time. All right. And yeah, so those were the different encounters, Carlos, that I have had and others have had. Oh, Saw Girl, I'm a buffoon. I'm a buffoon. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Saw Girl, for clarifying that. Yeah, I was being a little bit. Must be the uh, decoded signals or something that got to me. All right. Anyway, okay. Carlos said, kind of felt, kind of felt like I saw a ghost, though, and really had no fall for it. Okay, Carlos, tell me what you experienced with the ghost. I'm curious. And all right. So anyway, so another thing that happened was, yeah, and yeah. So anyway, the yeah, Timu autocorrect. Anyway, dude, are plants called plants because you gotta plant them to grow? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true, Breezy. All right, Carlos said just dark figure ran past in a door and way, but could have been eyelashes for all I know. Yeah, yeah. There was this other incident that happened where her my friend's stepdad was in the house. Oh, Prevet, Irina, welcome to the stream. I'm glad to have you with us. And yeah, so bro, it's like you like second guess yourself, and also Carlos, there's this thing where people could go into denial, and when people go into denial, they might think it's an eyelash or something, but it really isn't. I can't figure out why grass is called grass though. Yeah, I don't know either, but it has to probably do with some word that meant something else, like green or something, I suppose, and they called it that. It may not even be green; it may be a characteristic of the plant. That's a good question. So yeah, Carlos. Another thing that happened was the stepdad that my friend had. He was tapped on the shoulder, and another thing that happened was my friend was like in his bed, and yes, Saw girl. There you go. It's a river in Egypt. Yeah, yeah. So that's what happened. Now, when I was hearing about another ghost incident, I didn't realize how many paranormal encounters me and people I know have had. Okay, there's another incident that him and I. Amen, Crow Queen. Christ is King. Amen. So another thing that happened was her and I were in the front room, and there was a these Christmas lights start going off, and it started twinkling. I thought this is what I think. I thought the light switch or the button hit the wall by accident and it went off. But she's looking at me like, "What the f is going on here?" And I said, "I was like, oh, just being calm." And she told me they just went off by themselves, and she didn't know what it was. And she told me it was the place was haunted, the where she was. And she asked me before she bought it from one of my family friends if it had a ghost. I said no, but what I did was I went over there and I got my Bible out and I went and blessed it, and I was like, "May the whatever's in here be gone," because they're kind of messing with people in here, and I, you know, hopefully everything's going good over there. So yeah, those are some uh, ghost encounters that people have had that I or others have known. Now, let's see. I've had, they're kind of like phantoms. The phantoms of the night, basically. So there are these other incidences that happened where let's go this way. Good morning, Mr. Boss. Glad to have you here, buddy. All right, Carlos said, I've lost a lot of people in life, so maybe just stopping by. I try not to stress or think about it, though. Yeah, so people might be paying you a visit. There's people that have thought that the ghosts and stuff are relatives. And good morning, chat. Hope everyone had a great night. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we're doing good. We're talking about cryptids and we're talking about ghost stories. It's almost nighttime for you right now. Nice. Yeah, so Crow Queen and I both worship Christ. We both do. And another thing that happened was one time I was by the gate, by the fence, and what happened was there was this a person in the street with a hood over their head. You're welcome, underboss. Uh, there is this one time that so Carlos, I saw this person in the street. I was like over in the other side of the like we're right here, right? There's another area on the other side where there's like a driveway, and there was this figure in the street with a hood on its head, and I'm looking at it, and then it comes towards me. And I'm like, okay, let's see what this is about. And this person had big wide eyes, like you know, a big stare. It was a stranger. I'm like, it was the middle of the night. I'm like, well, this is perfect to happen right now. And person asked me if I wanted some business. I think it was a female. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I'm like, I just ignored and walked off, and I look back and there's nothing there. So either it was some sort of crackhead or it was something else. So, yeah, it was a chilling thing to experience. But yeah, sometimes in life you're just like, this is really happening to me right now. In this perfect setting, it's nice and dark, and there's a one street lamp over there. It's really nice to happen. It's like just the perfect setting for something like that to happen. Like it couldn't have been done any better. Yeah. So that was either yes, bro. I'm wearing Crocs. They're American flag Crocs. I wear them on my garden walks in nature. And yeah, Crocs. Yeah, shout out to Crocs. I always wear them, and in the garden and whatever I'm doing, I always have them on. Now I don't wear them for every single event. Yeah, Carla. I agree. And it's mental health or something like that. The meth ninja. Yes, the meth ninjas. Yep. I know. Yep, definitely. And Crocs are for every event. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I can't disagree with that. I mean, I forget I'm even wearing shoes when I'm wearing them. And mental health is something that I think Carlos hasn't addressed enough. Oh, okay. The shorts is Lilo and Stitch, and it says Aloha because I was covering the Hawaii trial, and today they ended with the verdict, and I was covering the trial the whole time with chat, and we had a good time. Yeah, be Lilo and Stitch. That's why I was wearing the Hawaiian type shorts. Yeah. All right. My favorite movie series, Carlos. I The movie series that I like is I'll have to think about it, but definitely Pirates of the Caribbean films would be my top ones. That's like my top one, I'd say. And I would also say next would be after that Star Wars trilogy. Underboss said Underworld. Yeah, there you go. I like vampires and bipedal wolfman. Yes. Let's see. Like vampires and bipedal wolfman. Yeah, and I like the vampire movies too. In Wolfman, Indiana Jones for me, the Bill and the Ted's Excellent Adventures, if that counts. Yes, I love adventure movies, and Indiana Jones is very good. I am back, guys. Stuck on hell diving. What's up, guys? We're talking about movies and stuff. I'm not allowed to drink blood. This human experience. Scared. Underboss. What about the? Oh yes, Saw Girl. I like the It series. Yes, that one is so paranormal and has to do with aliens and all kinds of things we talk about, especially with the Nephilim. Like the clown is a Nephilim. Yeah, I like that series too. Oh yeah, John Wick. John Wick is excellent. All right, so Moose says my favorite Pirates of the Caribbean is the Spanish Inquisition shows. The Spanish declares the fountain of youth a pagan object and destroys it without elaborating. Oh, the scene. Yeah, that was a very powerful scene. That it's about faith alone in God, not of the fountain of youth. That was a powerful message because the movie was talking about a religious point of view. Yeah, and John Wick was brilliant. John Wick was brilliant. Okay, so Sod's she says, "I love that one." Wasn't Penelope Cruz? Yes, she was in it. Pirates are a great series of films. Either way is so good. Come back, Johnny Depp, for another film. Oh, the good news is that they are going to make another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. They are going to make one, and it's going to be Johnny Depp is going to be in it. Oh yeah, it's very exciting. There's okay. Allegedly, there's going to be a Margot Robbie is going to be in one of them. They might have two versions, one with her in it, and one with him in another one, or maybe they're both going to be in the same movie. So the script is in production, apparently. So, oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. The Transformers series is good. I like Transformers too. You know, the Transformers. You know about these aliens that become robots, and that is pretty cool. That they had that concept within a movie. Indeed. And you know, it shows like a regular civilization. Eventually, they have the aliens coming from other worlds. Boss says there's banging noises in my home because any question was ignored. Alone, fifth homes. So who could be making the noise? Uh, Boss, the noise is the werewolf that keeps throwing rocks at your window. But Carlos says they're different ages. Ah, okay, gotcha. And Sargo says Margot Robbie. Oh gosh, she can't do a film. Pirates without backup of Johnny Depp, or vice versa. No way she could hold on a film by herself. Oh yeah, yeah. I agree. Uh, hilarious, Carlos. All right, Moose says, "Are they just going to film them at different times and cut into drama with each other?" I don't know. I don't know. That will be. I guess that's what happens. They better make it good. The last one was kind of a flop because Depp had some problems. Yes, Angels. Yeah, shout out to the Aliens Angels. No, the twin noises are twin angels. No, the noise are twin angels. Oh, okay, okay. There are angels that call them that are really werewolves, though. That's the thing. They're werewolves disguised as what they're saying. Yeah, right on, Carlos. You know, we can't forget the extraterrestrials. We got those all taken in consideration too. Yeah, John Wick is like a real life ninja. That's what basically he is. All the way from space. Yeah. Now, the pirate movie, okay, I think they've alluded to Davy Jones or something like that coming back. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see if that really happens. Comes out. And the pirate movie would just be really unexpected because people wouldn't be expecting that to happen. But if they do come out with it, it's certainly, as I said, with Johnny Depp coming back to Disney, it would all be very good for him to do that. I watched a movie recently. Keanu Reeves is an angel, and he getting old. Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't know he was in a movie about an angel, and that's very yeah he definitely has been around for a while. He was in The Matrix, and now he's been in all kinds of things. Boss, I know it's a very good question, and he originally didn't want to be around Disney anymore after what Amber Heard did what she did, but he he may be doing it for the fans. I think he might be doing it for the fans in a way to say like it didn't defeat him. It made him stronger. And Saw Girl says it's all about the money, boss. Yeah, that is a factor too. The money too. Yep. Ah, okay. He was in Constantine. Okay, good to know. And as I said, I think those would be reasons, and maybe money too. He's in November. He's going to be in Scrooge in a Scrooge movie, so that'll be interesting to see. Exactly. Yeah, the money motivated people sell their souls. Yep. They make money their god. Impeached, you mean? Johnny Depp, Saw Girl. It was already released, but Avatar 4 is being filmed. You definitely can see him as Scrooge. Right. Yeah, yeah, I saw that it's going to come out in November. Oh, autocorrect. You could definitely could see him as Scrooge. Ah, gotcha. I wondered for a second, but thank you for clarifying. Yeah, I've seen the Avatar movies before. I think they're very good. Definitely Avatar is very important to see for those that are interested. It's a good series. Yeah, boss. I don't know if you mentioned about how you tracked him down, but you mentioned about him before, I believe. I think something like that. You mentioned something about Google cybersecurity. That's what you mentioned. Interesting. They're trying to spy on you. Oh, yeah, Avatar 2 was very good. I liked it. The colors and the animation that is in there is very good. It's like 4D pretty much or 5D. It's completely surreal the way they did it. I like how they jump to different mountains and do all kinds of acrobatic stuff. That was always very nice. Moose says the way of the water was insanely beautiful in the theater. The best storytelling, but crazy experience in IMAX. Oh yeah, oh IMAX! I can even begin to imagine. It must have been like being in a different dimension. Jay says, I think they did it well with the different animal species and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, they did excellent with it. James Cameron, brilliant, brilliant directing. Indeed. A boss said, "How you can tell it's just like to ignore that." Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Scared. Yeah. So, you see, I mean, the spaceships are cool, and it's almost like a matrix within a matrix. It's like the avatars are like in a matrix, and then they're going to like another matrix. Oh, okay, boss. Scared. And Jay says, What are those leaves a part of? I see them whenever I walk around in nature, but I have no clue what they are. Yeah, they're elephant ear plants. Oh, and Saw Girl says, I really like Kick-Ass films, all that fighting. The Marvel films and DC films, I really like them a lot. Kick-Ass, The Way of Forever. Okay, I think that Marvel and DC are both excellent, and I like the amusement parks that have the DC comic theme stuff. It was always so fun. And seeing the superheroes fight the bad guys was something incredible. I mean, when you see when you see them, they it's a challenge, and they show their bravery and skill. And the plot of the villain is always quite fascinating. At the same time, and then they made them into big movie pictures. So yeah, I Superman was one of the last things I rented from Blockbuster before they went out of business. By the way, Spider Man was my favorite superhero growing up. Salgro says I'd rather watch kick-ass film than romance comedy film. Ah, yeah, yeah. The action is much more intense than that. And it's also suspenseful because you never know like what's going to happen. And seeing a hero struggle to have victory is something that is quite epic to obtain, and what drives the villain to make him a villain. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man was and the story about it was so cool how he like got bit by the spider and then he became the Spider-Man. I mean, I had the Spider-Man costumes. Like I had the Spider-Man costume. I was over in the other areas and Spider-Man, I'd get the shooting the spider web. I did that before with a Spider-Man toy. At first I couldn't get it to work, but then I got it to work. The Green Goblin's very spooky, especially the movie version. Yeah. Wonder Woman's good. That's another good movie. Good movie series. And Batman, the I remember seeing the Batman movies and saw the old fashioned Batmans. So it was so cool to see Batman like in real life. I mean, in the real movies about him with people in it, more modern versions of it. Those are well done, and it's like he without his parents getting deleted, murdered, he wouldn't become Batman. So like the hard stuff, the struggles made him who he was. So that is, and the Joker in his twisted mind and what led him there. And some people think like he says some wise things, or he has like a red pill moment. But the way they both do it, which is Batman and a Joker, both express themselves in different ways, but sometimes there's a common fallacy between them. But it's like two people went through the same thing or some kind of similar circumstance, and they both went different paths, though. And and Green Goblin with his lecture about the hero and how they don't really like the hero, really. But it's like still Spider-Man needed to do what the right thing to do was. So the philosophical side of it is very fascinating, and the symbolism of the characters and their actual real fight scenes are so epic to watch. So I do agree with that, and the costumes are always brilliantly done. Now the one of them, which is the other one, I know that was very descriptive about what I'm talking about. I know, but there you will be back. Okay, Jay. Thank you for being here. So, and he got distracted. Any new species? Anyway, so with Doc Ock, he was this like he's a dude that was an inventor, but the invention consumed him. It made him to like a villain. It corrupted his mind. Same thing with the Green Goblin. He got corrupted by the invention. Also, all right. And Mark says got distracted. Any new species? New species. I think with the new species, not really. What do you mean by new species? Anything here that we're seeing in the yard or in general? I'm just curious. Moose says, I love documentaries more than anything. Oh, documentaries are very cool. They can definitely describe and help show you things like you're actually there. Yeah, documentaries are really nice as well. Okay, and let's go over here. Mark, I could, but I would have to think about that maybe. I might name it after my beard instead. And there's gonna be some pumpkins that'll be coming out from here at some point. I have some pumpkins there. Hilarious, Mark. And there you go. But they're not there just yet, but we have them. The pumpkins will be coming out of there at some point. Yeah, so the new species of plants. No, at this moment, we're not looking at new species of plants, but there is one over here, which is a vine. That looks pretty cool. Boss says men are from Mars, women are from Venus. How about we meet in the middle, Uranus? Moose says, shout out to my boys David Attenborough and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, fascinating. Yeah, those are some really good documentaries. They speak well in those documentaries. Oh, and Ken Burns too. And shout out to, David and Neil. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson's very good. Yeah. All right, and this is a vine. Really cool. That's a kind of a new species. Oh, okay, Moose. I will. I will. I think that sounds really nice. Sounds like a cool documentary. Annenbra is a beast. Neil, I can't stand to fool him. That hulking fella. Oh, that's hilarious, Moose. He's a fun guy. There you go. Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of Neil deGrasse's documentaries. Right. Mark says he does my head in with the way he talks about deep state. Yeah, yeah. Neil deGrasse does my yeah. See, oh, thank you, Underboss. Thank you. Yeah, they bloom every year. Usually they're like a pink. This time they're more white looking, but they're like a pink white looking. That's what they look like. They are from Mexico. That's where they're from. I knew the name, but it kind of slipped my mind a little bit. But yeah, they're from Mexico. Eldus. Okay, let's see. See about this. No, let's see this. L. No. L. Okay, and let's see L. I really could care less. Well, it's people do Mario. They got nothing else to talk about. You know, they could talk about the alien spaceship, the Miraculous. See white, pink. No, white, pink. All right, Phil. Thank you. Let's see. Pink, Mexican flower. Yeah, Saw Girl. I'm gonna figure it out at some point, and I'll let you know what it is. Okay, boss says Mexico is cool. Yeah, I've read that. Okay, Mark said NASA stands for never a straight answer. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sargo says they look like morning glories anyway. I've never heard of that. She must be jealous. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because we are on the spaceship with all of our aliens and with all of our uh sometimes there's the with all of its aliens, the angels, the ladies, the our cool dudes, the cats, the trials, and even our buffering. It all makes a spaceship what it is. So yeah, and yeah, it's just definitely jealous. Morning glories have LSA, the precursor to LSD. Well, there you go. There you go. Good to know. Uh, Underboss and I will be tripping out right here. They got people from all over the world here on the spaceship. International spaceship. Yeah, and they're always very nice. I would get closer, but they're kind of yeah. Here we go. See, it has like a white. It would look good like in a lady's hair piece, like a barrette or something. That's what it look good in. Definitely nice decoration. Oh yeah, yeah. Underboss loves tripping. Facts. Yeah. Oh, Predator is very good. Oh, another series I forgot to mention is Lord of the Rings. I really like that one. And your Resident Evil, yeah. So Predator, yeah, that is so cool. I like that one and the way they're depicted. It's suspenseful, and I love the sci-fi stuff. Resident Evil, that's another good one. Oh, I love the Hobbit films. The Hobbit films are excellent, in my opinion. I hear you, Mario. I hear you, and I can care less about what this person thinks. They wish they were me. That's something that is true. Anyway, so as I said, I could really care less what people say about me. Whatever, doesn't matter to me. Exactly. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Exactly. That's why I don't care what people think. I'm just trying to stream. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff to deal with. I can't even really process what other people are thinking. I read the book The Hobbit, and it was very wonderful. Yes, yes. See the app where you can point a phone at night and see it tells you a zodiac carries on. Oh, interesting. So it says Hobbit is a place you stay can still visit New Zealand. Oh, good, good. Oh yeah, it was filmed in New Zealand. Yep, yep, that's true. And New Zealand is an interesting place to have that filmed, because a lot of people wouldn't think of it. And Moose said New Zealand looks like an alien planet. So many movies are shot in New Zealand. Yes, that is true. That is true. Yeah, New Zealand is so fascinating. It looks like a complete other world. Another world that we're not familiar with in this day and age. It looks like an alien planet or another dimension. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to New Zealand, very cool place. And The Hobbit was, I said, Hobbit movies were very good. Okay, and I think that it was a very inspirational movie, and it was needed to be done. It definitely needed to be done. And The Hobbit, the other area of The Hobbit, the different Gandalf is very good, and he's based off of Merlin and the ancient wizard. So that was a cool thing to have. And the hobbits, I think, are very resilient, and they're like the biggest people. Even if they seem smaller, they're really some of the biggest people, most powerful. They tapped into their strengths that they did have and made the most of it. Became more powerful than anybody else, I'd say. And it's all about their resilience and how long they're willing to go. Here's another one of these strange vines right here. Quite peculiar. Very intriguing. Okay, and then go this way. Yeah. So I like the Misty Mountains. The song about the Misty Mountains, that one was really good. And the dragons and different things, they really went all the way with that one. And soon we'll be going in to continue the stream, because we usually kind of go in at a point and do a recap. Yeah, and doing that at the moment. So also, Mark says, I saw a mate from school 10 years ago. We called him Fitz. I said, hello, Fitz, and his name is Mark. Now I was speechless. He named himself after me. Oh, scared. Everybody wants to be you, Mark. And that they're going to have a bunch of Mark clones everywhere. Very cool. And also kind of eerie at the same time. And sometimes there's some Timu people out there that do all kinds of things that we can't explain all the time. Right. I'm gonna be going in for a second, but we're still gonna be on the stream, so hang tight. We're just gonna switch sceneries. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, blowing a trumpet. All right. So let's go here. All right. So let's see. Oh, it was a skinwalker. Yeah, because the skinwalkers are able to mimic people that aren't really who they say they are. Definitely. And we are, glad to have you back. That you're a fast runner, and that's good that you were a fast runner. Admire that very much. We don't want them getting to you. Okay. And yeah, so definitely in nature, people are telling me on the show that they have experienced skinwalkers and stuff like that. And when that happens, you know, if something's trying to imitate you that isn't really there, you can kind of know that something's not quite right. For instance, some people have heard owls and other types of animals and creatures that aren't really who they say they are. You know, that is something definitely to be cautious of. So you sense something that isn't quite right. You have to definitely get out of the situation and do what's best for what must be done. Hey, you see the Freddy Krueger shirt? Yeah, yeah. I may not be, although when I'm covering the trial streams, I'm not always having the camera on, but I definitely have the this thing on. A lot of times when it's cold. So yeah, glad you could see that now. Okay, and Phil said I have a Freddy Krueger drawing as my PFP. Oh, nice. Yes, yes. So we're matching. We're matching. Yeah. And I wore this on my Halloween stream along with the pirate hat, and which is over there. Let's see. Go, and this is my pirate hat that I wear in the show that people think that is part of my hair. I believe Nightmare on Elm Street was Johnny Depp's first film. I think. Hmm. I think it was too. Yes, I agree. Good morning, Nick. Welcome to the stream. It would be worth millions. That's how it would be worth millions, indeed. And Sawgirl says it would be priceless. Arg, yes. You are correct. Johnny's first feature film was classic horror movie Nightmare on Elm Street. Hello, my friend Lindsay. We are talking about, first of all, we're talking about animals and cryptids. Some like cryptids and different types of like sea creatures that are kind of should be classified as cryptids and why people thought they were cryptids in the first place. We were talking about different Marvel, like what kind of movies we talk about ghost stories we've experienced, different people experienced in chat, and we talked about like what kind of movie series we like, different, you know, John Wick or Pirates or the Lord of the Rings franchise, different types of or Indiana Jones, different types of stuff like that we were talking about tonight. Thorville says, "If I had saved my comic books from '60s, I'd be rich. I also had an original easy bake oven, and I wish I had saved that. But you don't think about those kind of things when you're a kid. Exactly. It's normal. Lindsay, you guessed correctly. Absolutely. And the first trial that I watched was the Depp trial. That's when I got into trial stuff. Mark said, "I think I was a pirate in a past life. Done a few thousand days at sea." Oh, oh, nice, nice. Yeah. So we also talk about Marvel and DC. Those are good ones too. Like I like Spider Man growing up. That's what I like the most in Batman from the DC side. All right, Sawgirl says, "Me too. My first child ever saw was the Jeff trial. That's when I found you and could watch your live trials on YouTube." Yeah, exactly. That's really cool that you can watch the trials on YouTube. It is awesome, indeed. Yeah, I wasn't really aware of it until that trial happened. Yeah, and I think it was a really cool experience how these different things have evolved over time with the way we consume trials and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that the Depp one was a very big movement. What do I think of Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp? I think, my opinion, that Johnny was being slandered. I'm not saying he was perfect. He wasn't an angel, but I think that he was heavily slandered, and a lot of these injuries she was saying she had just didn't make any sense, and she wasn't really acting like a victim of anything. So I think it was more or less at first, you know, a lot of us were not too certain about it, and many people did think Amber Heard was innocent. But then as she got on the stand and more time went on, we kind of could see it's not quite like what it seemed like. So that is what I think about it. I think that he didn't do these things he was accused of, but he wasn't perfect though. And she just really wanted, the money and to try and mess him up. And completely narcissistic and was a very bad actor on the stand to try to convince people that she was not, what that she was the victim, but really she was not innocent at all. Let's see. Okay, Mark says, "What do you think of the Charlie Kirk case? Utter rubbish, in my opinion." Okay, well, with the Charlie Kirk situation, it seems that there could be, obviously there's conspiracy theories about how he actually was murdered, assassinated, and just like because there's a bullet that's allegedly doesn't match the other bullet, so he may have been assassinated by other parties that didn't want him there, talking about criticisms of different places. So it's possible that I don't know. So far, it seems like this is the person that did it, but yeah, some things, are we gonna really know what the real truth happened or who is all involved? We may never really know. Yeah, I take it as I go along, but I definitely can see holes in narrative about what parties are involved with these different things. And she's an opportunist, and set him up as being a bad guy. I didn't believe a word she said. Saw Girl, I didn't believe a word she said either. And, and are you talking about that shot Charlie Kirk, not the same bullet they found at the shooter's home? Yeah, that's what basically Saw Girl that he's talking about is because the bullets don't completely match up, and there's been conspiracy theories that maybe other parties and entities wanted him assassinated. Oh, okay, Mark. Okay, Mark. Yo ho. And oh, hello, still the West. Still in the West. Uh, Good to have you on board, mate. Welcome to the crew. Yeah, Mark's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely remember there's a scene where a pirate was on the ship and he was saying, "Yo ho, a pirate's life for me," and a bottle of rum, and that's basically Mark. He's like, yeah, Mark's like, "Hold my rum. I'll show you what a pirate's all about." Yeah, so Depp in Elm Street, he played Glenn Lantz, the boyfriend of the film's protagonist, Nancy Thompson. Discovery. Depp was primarily a musician at the time and only went to the audition to support his friend Jackie Earl Haley in the 2010 remake. Casting director was Craven famously chose Depp for this role because his teenage daughter found his headshot dreamy. So that is what Depp was in Elm Street, by the way. Yeah, so I think that he did good in that one, and it was when he was first starting out. And some people think that over time he improved, got better, but he was that was his first entrance into movies, and he he was a pro at what he did. He definitely knew how to act and convey his message very well, and that's how he got famous over time. Also, so it's important for people to understand a lot of trials. For instance, like the Depp trial, it wasn't as what it looked like. A off the bat, definitely that Amber was the one that was a culprit. Oh, Jeremy, yeah, yeah, Jeremy. It's a lot of people believe it's my hair, like the Jimmy Neutron hair. Yeah, because it blends in with my hair. Yeah, and it would almost be like if I had an alien hairdo. That's what that would be like. Hello, UAP. Welcome to the stream. Absolutely, Jeremy. I believe in them wholeheartedly. This channel, we talk about aliens, all kinds of alien conspiracy theories and stories all the time. It's a not every single day, but it's definitely an alien rabbit hole. Oh yeah, definitely they're out there. Like there's Skinny Bob. And Skinny Bob was one of the aliens that was in existence that people saw. And there's a lot of people that do believe Jesus was an alien. Oh, thank you, Kali. And yeah, Jeremy, I think for instance, when Jesus was beamed up, which I believe Jesus is God in human form, in my opinion, but that is the thing with let's see, the aliens. Let's see, I believe. Wait, with I was reading chat for a second. That's why I got sidetracked. But with the aliens, they one thing with the aliens is that I believe Jesus is God in human form, etc. But the thing with aliens is that with Jesus, he, in a way, is similar to an alien because he's from another realm and he was beamed up. And I do believe a lot of the angels and that we see, angels and aliens are the same thing. Yeah, definitely, Jeremy. Absolutely. And when he was coming back, when they were going to go take him to heaven, it's like this big thing comes over and beams him up. So yeah, that's a very interesting concept there. I think with Jesus, he was definitely had different abilities and stuff that regular mortals don't have, and I think, for instance, a lot of gods and other entities were also aliens of some kind too. So definitely, they're from the other realms. Salvador says, "God created us. Why would He not create other beings? I think He has, and I think He's still at it. God is good. God is great. Amen." I believe that God is all those things. I do believe that there are other beings out there besides us, and He is creating other worlds, other people, and other places. I don't think we're the only people or creatures like this that He made. So yeah, there's so many things out there, so many different planets, so many different star systems. There has to be more than just us. Many people all over the place tell me about alien encounters they have everywhere. So it's something that does happen. Oh yeah, understood, Jeremy. Yeah, I can understand what that's like. Mark said, "Guy had a rock for a door stopper, and he didn't realize he was a meteorite. I would think it's worth more than the weight of the gold." Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. UAP that I got on video that night was over a military base in the near Five Eyes complex. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they do a lot of times fly by and go around alien bases. I do agree with that. Yeah. By the way, Giorgio Tsoukalos is a very good alien enthusiast. By the way, it was last night. Well, I'm glad that you are telling us about what happened. Thank you. Okay, Travis. Good for you. Yeah, yeah, right on, Travis. Right on. I heard about some UFOs going over Alaska last night, and some of them were red. Did you know that Leonard Skinner is a spiritual band, which is my fave band of all time? That Ronnie Death meant something. It was no accident. Understood. Understood. I I have heard the band before, and yeah, you see, a lot of times when you feel like something or know something was not a coincidence, but it was no accident, there's definitely some other alternative motive to it. Some other factor in play. Yeah. Oh, really, Travis? Scared. Yeah, they're definitely are known to take people. So definitely leaves up a mystery. Mark said, "The world knows aliens are real. Why America is trying to hide it is sus." Yeah, very sus. Ronnie's death on the plane was like getting nailed to the cross, like Jesus or Ozzy. Ozzy was a good. He was very good too. I We all miss him. And yeah, very good. Well, very well said, Jeremy. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question, Travis, because usually aliens return somebody. Although I don't really know, they could be capturing people and using them for harvesting organs and stuff, or harvesting blood, or whatever else they do. So it could be an alien taking them to another realm for some reason, but it could be the CIA trying to censor the information, though. Because a lot of times people have UFO encounters or return back to Earth. Most, pretty much all of them. It's 5:14 a.m. That's what it is right now. I like the reincarnation cause I have dreams of being on the playing saving. Oh, cool. That is, and yeah, some people have reincarnation experiences, and that it could be. Okay, cattle mutations could either be from genetics, all the chemicals and stuff that are put in water and whatever they pump into them. Maybe there's some extraterrestrial involvement as well. MVP says, I think the ones that don't get returned are taken to the trafficking ring, and the ones that are taken are returned by the UFOs. Ah, okay. That's an interesting analogy. Oh yes, Travis. Definitely, you would have fun. You would have fun with that. Yeah. Cool people, Travis. Yeah. Jeremy said, "Oh, Travis. It depends on the alien. Some like the Ebian aliens are the best ones to do that with. They seem to be the most chill, and their planet has two suns, but they are more mellow. And anytime there's been real encounters with the Ebian aliens, people have seen to have been having a laid back, experience with them." Mark says Foo Fighters are not the band. Oh, okay. Travis says the Greys. Okay. The Greys seem to be a lot of people have had negative experiences with being abducted by the Greys. Some people have good experiences with the Greys. So the Greys, I think, are in cahoots with the lizard aliens or the reptilians for diabolical purposes, like corrupting the bloodlines. They do all kinds of things that people are not really that thrilled over. But people have had some good experiences with them, but mostly not the best. Journey said, I'm going to get an alien statue face flat of a gray alien on my tombstone. Oh, that's a good idea. There you go. You'll have an alien, an out of this world grave. If Velcro's alien tech, it was found in the Roswell crash. Fiber optic tech. Yes. All right. I'm a mystery when it comes down to alien fascinations and love fans, but yeah, dumb simple real life, right? Stargirl says ship bags are also alien technology. That sounds crazy, but it's true. Scared. Yeah, and I believe that there's lots of different technology that I know, Stargirl. Yeah, the bags of chips are something that all the aliens invented, and they have been eating them like that for 1,000 years. Yeah, that was a good one. Now, there's different species. The grays and the lizard aliens to be cautious of. Always test a spirit or entity to see if it's righteous or not. Right? It could, so it's not something evil. and know that the Greys can abduct somebody. The Greys can abduct somebody and use them for experiments. So, yeah, I would say the Greys themselves and the Tall Whites, because they're pawns of lizard aliens. Our phone has more al- Our phone has more alien. No, our phone has more tech than the so-called spaceship that went to the moon. That is true. That's true. And oh yeah, Sawgirl. Yeah, it's definitely catching up to me, so to speak. Mhm. But I'm enjoying doing this stream and talking to all of you, of course. Greys are misunderstood for their abduction processes. Now, Jeremy, do you think that the Greys are evil, or you think they're just more scientific what they're doing? Because they do seem to return people back after the experimentation. Because the methods that they use are not really like. Now, the reptilians, I think, are just completely evil. Well, thank you, Sawgirl, and you. Okay. And you are also, you are the best as well. Shout out to you in chat. Travis said the exomorph. I don't want to mess with that. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds something not to mess with. Yeah. Yeah, Mark, that's a lot of questions about it, and there's also a video of them leaving the moon with another person still on there. There seems to be a lot of questions about the clip. People could do we go to the moon or not can be disputed, but it's like the clip people think have some like what is it exactly? It's like a clown car, right? Sargo said, "I still am wondering why they didn't just land on the moon. This trip gotta wait 2 more years to land. To land on the moon. This trip already landing on the moon. I got this. Still wondering why they didn't just land on the moon. This trip gotta wait for years to land on the moon with a question mark. They already landed on the moon. What are they freaking doing? Exactly. Exactly. It's like, what are we doing here? It's like they went there and they're going back there. It's like, what is the purpose? Is it a distraction or is there something else going on? It's interesting, but like, what is really happening? Oh, okay, Carlos. Yeah, looks like I'm a little bit out there myself. Mark says, "Do you know much about Pine Gland in Florida. No, I don't. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I dream in colors all the time. Sometimes it could be black and white, maybe, but most of the time, no. I'd say I pretty much dream in color. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Saw Girl, for being on the streams and hanging in there, and all the different things we cover. Look forward to doing more with you, and I appreciate glad that you enjoy these late night lives and think it's comforting. All right, and yeah, also we'll end the stream and we'll continue this conversation tomorrow. Nice, yeah. Thank you, Saw Girl. All right, yeah, they don't want to land the moon. It's like they had the technology to land on the moon, but they don't exactly land on the moon. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you so much, Saw Girl, for everything that you do and everybody else here. Shout out to our garden gang, by the way. Yeah. Good night, chat, and have a good evening. Glad that all you enjoyed it, and peace. Yeah, night, Jeremy. Also,